We absolutely have to act the moment that we get the information, and that's exactly what happened with Spain, as we saw, and as we've seen over the weekend, where there's over 6,100 cases, the highest since the peak in March over there. It was the right thing to do, and it's why the whole of the UK did it at the same time. I can't therefore rule out other parts of the UK having to go, other countries having to go into the quarantine as well. I very much understand. It obviously had an impact on me and my family, and I'm very, very sorry and upset for the thousands of Brits who've, either away or perhaps even haven't even managed to go away this summer as well to Spain. But it's absolutely essential we acted when we did. It's why all four nations of the United Kingdom acted together, and the figures since have turned out to justify that action. So we have to, I think, have a clear message and make sure that we act by adding entire countries to that list for the time being. Look, we did have a look at whether certain islands could be included and not others. Chris Whitty, the Chief Medical Officer, was very clear with us that he was concerned about the data. We'd seen how the data had come very fast forward in Spain. In 48 hours, it had gone up by 75%. It doubled in just a few days. He was concerned to see what was happening in the islands, and that's why we make it a whole country approach with these things. It's obviously an interesting idea, and it's something that we are looking at, of course. One of the things that people don't realise with testing is if you test somebody who's asymptomatic, they don't have any signs of coronavirus, on day one when they arrive at an airport, that would only pick up 7% of people who actually did have the disease, which isn't useful from the point of view of making sure that you get the cases. You have to then test again later, and that brings in further complication about ensuring that people have quarantined in the meantime, and that doesn't work either. Well, look, a lot of people have said, why didn't you give us notice, for example? But the truth is, I saw figures late last week which had Spain looking okay. We were, keeping a cautious eye over them. I then saw the figures on Saturday, in fact, when I got to Spain, and there was no doubt at all. We had a meeting with all of the devolved administrations, the scientists and several ministers, and we simply had to act. And not to act would have been a dereliction of duty. And people rightly would have said, of course, why have you not acted? Why have you got this information? You're not doing anything about it. So we had to act when we did. The figures since have shown why that was required, and I sound desperately sad and sorry for people who have lost their holidays. And I decided I needed to come home early and begin my 14 days quarantine just to make sure that I can get on with my job.